Hey guys, I hope I've got that standing right. For some reason I've got it off a little bit. Anyways, okay. The video I did on the two facts and one fiction. Alright. Did I was the first one. In the year 2000, me and my husband went on a cruise to Luz with Richard Simmons. Is it true? Yes, it is. In fact, here's some photos. Okay. Number two. When I was 16 years old, I was in a horrible bus wreck. Yes, it's true. When I was 16 years old, back then, the school buses didn't have to have the, I don't know what it's called. It's the thing on there where it controls the speed of the bus. And back then, teenagers, if you had your license and being in high school, as long as you had your license back then, you could drive a school bus. You had to go to train, but you could be 16. I remember that day so well and so vivid. That is when my anxiety started happening in my life to be the extreme. I remember one afternoon, well, the bus driver I had, he was a young guy. He was probably 16 at the least. I mean, at the most, I would say 16. And he was driving us. I was always fearful of riding the school bus with the teenager drivers. And he was our new one, and he was a little rebel. He would, every day we had this dirt road we had to go on. And it was very, very curvy. And he loved to go as fast as he could, and he loved to go around the curves as fast as he could go. He loved for the bus to slide. And so every day I lived in fear coming home from school or going to school. I seriously did. I lived in fear. And I remember on this one day in the afternoon, we were coming home from school. And we were going around a curve, and we slid off the road a little bit. He got back on. And something in my head said, he's going to wreck one day. He's going to wreck us. So, it didn't happen long after that. The next morning, we were going to school. And I don't know why, but I mean, why would he be so wide open in the morning? I don't even have any idea. But we were on our way to school, and we were going on that dirt road that had all the curves. And on one side of the road was rock. It was like a mountain with rock all the way on the side. And then on the other side of the road was like a big cliff. So it was a mountainy road. I lived where there were mountains and stuff. And that morning we were going to school. He was speeding on the dirt road, and we went around one curve, and he kind of lost it a little bit, and then he come back on the road, and when he did, he slid the whole side of the bus onto the side of the rocks. And when he slid on the side of the rocks, you could see fire flying from the glass. And I thought, well, maybe he's going to get back up on the road. I'll just praying and praying. But something told me he's not going to. You're going to crash. About that time when we hit the side of the rocks, he tried to get it back on control. And when he did, we went to the left side where the cliff is in very, very slow motion. something just told me, get down on the floor. It was God telling me. Basically, it was God telling me, get down on the floor. I was probably the first one to get down on the floor and hold on to my seat. I slid down on the floor, and then we went off the side of the mountain. We flipped, and chairs flew everywhere. People were flying everywhere and screaming. And we all of a sudden landed. And this was a big cliff. And then when we went off the cliff to the left side and we landed, all of a sudden we landed, and that was odd. That all of a sudden we were caught. And we all were looking at each other and making sure everybody was okay. Everybody was fine. There were 2 people that were hurt, but not really bad. And we were upside down, and we had to get out the back of the school bus upside down. And when we moved, the bus was kind of flopping. So we all hurried up and got out of the bus upside down. And when the guys helped all of us get out. The 2 strongest guys helped us get out. And when we got out, and we had to climb up a big hill, the mountain, side of the mountain, in red dirt. We had to climb up it. And when we all got up there, we all survived, and we all looked down, and there was only a small tree that was holding us. If the small tree branch wasn't holding us, we would have probably died, because it was a very steep mountain. Anyways, the last one is this, and it is the lie. Well, partial a lie. We did go on the cruise to live with Mr. Simmons, and we were visiting St. John's Bay. And when we got to St. John's Bay, I wanted to call my son. He was 4 years old at the time.
It was Tortola that happened.
Tortola?
Not St. John, so when you even said that, it was...
Oh, okay. Well, it was Tortola. We went to Tortola, and we wanted to use the telephone to call our son, see how he was. And when we went up to the phone booth, there was a man sitting there with a long knife. And he was trimming something. We didn't know what it was. And he gave us this look. And he was asking us crazy questions like, have you had anything fresh today? And just asking us stupid questions. And he said, you want to try this? You want to eat this fresh? And we're like, we don't know what it is. And he goes, another word for cash? He was like hinting around. And he had that knife, and he just kept showing us the knife. And we know deep down he was going to rob us. He wanted us to eat that cashew, which, if you all know, a raw cashew is poisonous. And he just kept on, and about you just knew it. And he was getting ready to rob us when all of a sudden some people came up in a taxi van. Thank God, because he would have robbed us. So yeah, that one is the lie, but it's also very, very close to the truth. Alright guys, I'm going to go because this is hard to do. Alright, bye for now.